Друзья, привет! Выполним квестик. Тень прошлого. Отслеживать. Let's go. Ага. Ага. Бисерный. Мы тут, по-моему, не были еще никогда. Или это то, что там, где мы были уже. Там, где пати, по-моему, это оно. Мне как-то кажется, оно отличается.
Oh? I didn't think I would see you here.
Are these two your friends?
Yes, we had the fortune of meeting not too long ago. They are quite a knowledgeable and talented pair, and a pleasure to be around. Traveler, we were just discussing the history of Rex Lapis. Would you like to listen?
This, good sir, seems not to appreciate the almighty power of the Lord of Geo. As a professional archaeologist, I'm inclined to correct some of his erroneous view. We are discussing the whereabouts of the first Mora.
As everyone knows, the Lord of Geo taught the ancient people of Liyue the craft of smelting, creating goods that allowed them to develop trade with the early nation. Today, Liyue holds the sole right to cast Mora in the entire continent of Tivat. The world's very first Mora should have been cast by the hands of the Lord of Geo.
According to my research, as well as my own hypothesis, I believe that this coin of unique historical significance has been passed on secretly through the year. For example, perhaps the Qixing who control the Liyue use it in some kind of unknown ceremony they hold when they...
No. My research indicates that the first Mora coin is... Mora is a catalyst. This we all know. Even today, Mora is used in the mystic arts for its curious prop. The world's first Mora would no doubt possess the strongest power. My next historical treatise will boldly expound on the newest findings from my intense decade. That is, that the Lord of Geo used this original Mora as a... Well, buy the book when it comes out to read the full story. For now, I will only reveal this. The one who finds the dagger shall become supreme in Liyue, and the one who finds the sword may be crowned Liyue's...
I can't say I agree. Let us not speak of the authenticity of the dagger and sword first. But Mora and money came about simply because they are a convenient measure. Rex Lapis just meant for Mora to serve as a catalyst for people to exchange and trade. The world's first Mora is probably just an ordinary coin created by Rex Lapis.
I think that Mr. Hanshua's hypothesis seems reasonable. Mr. Zhongli's argument, on the other hand, lacks any evidence. How can you so easily dismiss the Lord of Geo's profound foresight?
No, I am not debating right or wrong. I am simply stating a fact.
Enough! Do you think you understand the Lord of Geo more than me?
I know but little about history, and I wouldn't dare to brag. But discussion is meaningless if everyone has the same opinion, no?
Well then, answer me this. Long ago, when Liyue Harbor was being constructed, the Lord of Geo taught the people how to build houses. The model...
That is correct, indeed.
Okay, then tell me. Why would the Lord of Geo do something so extravagant, if not because of the mystical
There's a simple explanation, really. To the god of wealth and commerce, what material is easier to get than Mora?
Oh.
I mean, I am talking about Rex Lapis.
Excuse me, sir. I have some questions about archaeology. Can we find somewhere quiet to chat? I mean, if it's okay with you.
Oh, it's no problem at all. But may my friend accompany us? Perhaps they could be of some help.
Of course. They can come if that's what pleases you, sir.
Let's go!
What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry looks. So it's best to discuss this somewhere. Your argument just now exhibited acuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, you don't fall for the boasting and acting of the others. So I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars. Do you think that all the gods that the Geo Archon killed were evil?
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the integrity of contracts. So any gods he killed certainly must have broken some kind of contract.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt. The god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god. But she encountered Morax one day. Morax used a rather underhanded trick to...
This bit of history is a long story.
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event, I've already searched for answers for a long time.
Quite so. I don't know where to begin.
Over here, Mr. Zhongli. I've been looking for you. So you're over here all this time. First of all, I'm not holding a weapon. There's no need to overreact now. I'm simply an archaeological researcher from Sned. But this time, I registered with the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs. I could show you the official documentation if you want to see it.
Блин, не слышно Паймон вообще. Они что, специально, что типа кого-то она бесит, они типа голос убрали. Это ж хреново, реально. Паймон топчик. Вы чё?
I will be conducting an archaeological survey here, the results of which will all be shared with the ministry. I heard that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor had a consultant named Zhang Li, with immense knowledge of ancient history and archaeology. So I paid Wangsheng Funeral Parlor a handsome amount to hire Zhang Li as my...
So you mean to say that this is work for the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, yes? Well, since it's work, I don't have a choice. A consultant of the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor must...
Of course you would be such a reasonable man. Well then, let's head out now, shall we?
Wait, if you are studying archaeology, can I go too? I am also a scholar in...
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along too. This experience may be of help to you on your... It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished, it will still be a meaningful...
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition, not a tour group. That's too many people.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one. It will surely be of great...
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure chest, they will absolutely find a way to open it.
Well, that is quite enticing. All right, then. Well, let's go. There's no time to waste. When the Overlord of the Vortex was crushed by the Jade Chamber recently, perhaps an ancient artifact would be good. Traces of ancient activity would be great. But a piece of the God's limb would be even better. Who knows what surprises we may find.
Друзья, пора залить чайку перед продолжением. Секундочку. Так, направляйтесь в каменный лес. Там нас ждет Бэдби Альянс. Ага, то есть вообще просто вот, да, прикольно.
Wouldn't gliding be...
This place looks so ordinary. Can we really find anything valuable here? I don't mean the scenery, but rather that there should be something out of the ordinary. A big battle did just occur and all, and I don't even know...
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place to be, if you wish to learn about the gods or the history of the Archon War. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here, piercing and crushed. After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into the unique rock formations we see now. What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis, but due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity, many of them... So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing of the stone spears also played a big part in the formation of...
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certainly very strong in its own...
Indeed. This is where the value lies in research at Guyan Stone Forest. Most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by the Overlord of the Vortex have given those...
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get very, very rich... I mean, rich with archaeological knowledge and historical value, yes? Well, since we brought so many people, I think it would be best to split up and look.
Okay then. I will go with my friend here. Although I have a smattering of knowledge in various disciplines, when it comes to archaeology, I can't compete with the expert here.
Huh?
What's the matter? This is your profession. Why are you so surprised?
I get it. I'll escort him then.
Okay. If we find anything valuable or rare, let's meet on the... The ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier.
Following.
Wouldn't gliding be faster? Time for takeoff.
Time for
Let's play.
flying,
Go.
bitch.
As you wish, main Fräulein. No rest for the wicked.
Yahoo!
Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day.
Remnants.
No time to lose.
Так, ладно, не будем сильно того.
No time to lose.
Так, ребята, вы чё? Ага.
See that object in the center? Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly attract you. The hydromanic monster. I have a contract and must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead. Defeat them and recover the relic.
Да ладно! Друзья, это нежданчик, честно говоря.
It's just a stone slab, but its design is quite unique. This should be enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
Так, здесь уже заспаунилось все, да? Да, ну постоянно. Я вот не знаю. Как-то часто
You call
спаунится
yourself a
на этом
scholar of
острове.
archaeology? You can't even recognize this or that. What are you good for?
You can recognize this or that. Let's go.
We all have our areas of expertise. I already tried very hard to explain.
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist, but she doesn't even know anything about the surrounding ruins. She left me to rely solely on guessing, experience, to find anything valuable to take back.
I've just been researching the god of salt, so I'm not familiar with sea relics. Is that so strange? And you! You kept asking about how much Mora everything is worth. Can the value of relics only be measured in Mora?
Isn't measuring their value in Mora the easiest way? This also matches the traditions of Liyue.
Now, calm down. No need to make a fuss. We were... Oh, what a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the Overlord of the... The stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and faint aura of divine power.
Quick, give it to me. At least we didn't come for nothing. The power of the go. But these other objects are certainly worth a little something, right? It should be enough to cover the cost of hiring you.
Not at all. My quest to uncover the history of the God of Salt is because history can tell us about culture and beliefs. But you? You're just trying to use
Nonsense! I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. I swear, if I'm lying, may the Lord of Geo strike me down.
Oh, by the way, you probably don't want to say...
Oh? Why's that?
That's not an ancient teacup. It's part of Ningguang's collection. It must have fallen here along with the Jade Chamber. So unless you want to mess with the Qixing...
Ah, I see. What a shame. It was of such...
See? You do want to sell these objects!
But, so what? Why can't I pursue wealth both intellectual and material? All right then. No need to stay here any longer. I'm rather quite intrigued by the god...
Соленая земля. Let's go. Я! Так, вот этого подсочиться лучше обойти так, потихонечку. Восстановимся на миночку. Ты не смотри на нас, хеличуру.
I heard that Salterai was once the home of the God of Salt's people. Therefore, there's sure to be loads of valuable...
According to legend, the people of the God of Salt, Havria, enjoyed... But this legend has been around for ages. With the countless scrap collectors and treasure hoarders in the area, they're probably...
Oh, good. That's just great. If I knew it was picked this clean before, I wouldn't have come.
About that, I know there's a ruin deep in this cave here. It's related to the God of Salt, which is actually how the area originally got it. However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by a mysterious power. Nobody has been able to break the seal.
Oh shit!
I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but when I undid the mechanism, so at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it are very important topics in my research on the God of Salt. I don't know, there's no concrete evidence. But I'm pretty sure the seal is meant to hide some kind of... The God of Salt was a benevolent god, adored by the people, not to mention powerful. She wouldn't have any kind of shameful secrets to hide. So, the one who wants to hide some truth is very possibly her killer, Morax.
Who cares about all that? It sounds like countless treasures of the God of Salt lie...
You weren't listening at all, were you? Even if there's a mountain of treasures inside...
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhongli with us. He looks like he knows just about everything. A little seal shouldn't be any trouble for him.
This seal seems to be quite ancient. Even Mr. Zhongli may not...
I may know something about it.
What?
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Although their references seem rather disorderly, they do in fact... Let's go take a look at the mechanism Miss Wanyan just mentioned.
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli says so, follow me then.
Ай-яй-яй.
Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism will be revealed.
Так, найдите точку обзора, с которого можно сложить узор. Так, точка обзора. Я не понял. Ага. Точка обзора.
See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Let me lead the way from here.
О, дядя, так, бэмс. Так, еще.
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monuments here. So you're saying they're related to all this? When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany, but when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time. But the secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast,
Так,
yet
Тень,
even one
Хань,
haven
Юг,
is hard to find.
Восток. Заоблачный предел. На западе Цинце, на севере унылый и безмятежно.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in riddles?
I think I've heard.
Certainly you have. And the contents of this saying are also to provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War. At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, even one sliver of... And that haven she eventually found is right here.
How sad then. In the end,
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break the seal. Whatever happened...
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. With this clue, you should be able to solve the puzzle.
Так, ладно, давайте чуть-чуть немножко. Ай, у нас ледяной чувачок. Так, давайте сначала вот этих ребятишечек, пацанчика. Ай-яй-яй. Ай-яй-яй. Так, значит так. На юге он. Так, это у нас огонь, да? Ладно. На юге. На востоке, да? Где у нас? А, нет, вот. Ладно.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west.
Юг, восток, запад,
Directions
север.
are the clue. Give it another try.
Юг, восток, запад, типа, да. И север. Оу, yeah.
The seal really was broken. Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time.
Так, немножечко взлетим. Чтоб доплыть, если что.
Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between...
Okay.
I propose you to agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist? No, absolutely.
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve. You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this room.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. Even half of the treasure.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. I just have one request, Mr. Shaw. If we discover the truth behind the God of Salt, you must judge it fairly, even if the truth harms Morax.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
Let's go. Прощай, терпкая соль, спустись в пещеру немножечко. Так, я там и тоже сундучок пропустил. Он так он валит. Так он валит фишечки. Фишечки валит. Так, все, друзья. Мне придется взять Нуэлечку. Потому что Нинку тоже можно брать в таких случаях. Ну, как бы.
Oh, how exciting!
Как бы.
Leave it all to me.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Someone needs assistance. Someone needs assistance.
Так, стоп, я оттуда пришел. Немножко корчика. Ай-яй-яй! Я умру, по-моему. Ах, как повезло. Ёбаный в рот. Ага. Вот у нас 35. Йоу! Ладно, Ноэльку взяли, погнали. Ноэльку взяли, погнали, let's go! Таки она нужна здесь. По любасу. А, у нас есть как бы типочек. Типчичек. Типцичек. Давайте зачитаем как бы фишечки. Каждая гора и вся земля пронизана быстро прыгает сила землю геоколонна, которая наносит геоурон по площади. Эта колонна входит в резонанс с другими окружающими, нанося периодический геоурон окружающим врагам. Геоколонна считается геоконструкцией на нем. Ну, типа периодический урончик. И здесь просто оглушающая фишечка. Окаменение, короче. Let's go.
Are these statues?
Statues.
These are people.
Duh.
They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin?
Так, да, оно чуть-чуть ебошит. Но мы немножечко чайлдом повалимся. Так, ребята. Ага. Ну ладно. Ладно, я понял, для чего нам типочек. Ага, нет, не так. Так он просто щит себе на долгом нажатии ебошит. Так он щиточек. Райз, мазер. Так.
Quake!
Реликвия.
Look at this. It's filled halfway with salt.
It just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was a god lacking in treasures.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount inside won't change?
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt.
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious treasure. I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune.
Hey, how can you use a relic of the god of salt?
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss One.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this?
Since we have a contract.
Then let's move on, shall we?
Дядя. Мистер Архонт. Так, ладно, тут надо явно подойти как-то так, да?
Just a simple ruler. It doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly, this is some kind of
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a...
What? That's even better than the Salt Challenge!
Well then, according to our contract,
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the And this girl has been useless! Why would she get in?
so you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I know. Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I?
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, ones who break their contracts
That is one of your Liyue gods.
will suffer the wrath of the rock.
The wrath of the rock! Так, ладно. Я чуть-чуть...
Leave it all to me.
Это, как
Brace
его...
yourself. Think you can get away?
Да, ты чуть-чуть полетай пока что, дядя!
Midnight,
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into...
Oh, darn you! Just you.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many other things that may tempt us to break contracts. When people see the object of their dreams, how many are really able to control their desire and follow the contract? I think we should be honest with each other now. That in truth, not a single member of this.
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert when it comes... You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really... I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations at...
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the jurisdiction of the chiefs. Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos. During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost, and we hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all, so I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must...
Naturally, of course. But I must add, come with me. All the answers you...
Я понял, дядя. Хорошо, мы тут немножечко поколдуем. Так, подожди. Да ладно, блядь. Ладно, мы тут чуть-чуть упадем. Немножечко. А как же нам добраться? А, я понял. Я понял, как нам добраться. Главное, немножечко поколдовать!
Leave it all to me.
Quake!
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 Так, друзья, ну здесь я чуть-чуть, у меня нету больше ни у кого никакой ульты. Так, хорошо, ладно, ешечками разберемся. Ешечками.
No time to lose.
Так, а шо? А, это типочек забрался просто, да? Так, ну, здесь мы разберем немножко камень. Поломать. Поломать. Так, все.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
Тут замечательная находочка, картошечка с куриной ножкой, а также сундучок.
Rise!
Не там, дядя. Не там. Да не там же, ну блин. А у него откат, да, вообще. Вообще максимально маленький откат. Так, ну парочку... Эй, ты хватит летать! Мы парочку жонглеров себе намутим, но как бы максимизировать, ну типа, я не буду. Но мне просто нужен рейзер максимальный.
This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the god of salt had a fight. The power of this sword surely is much greater. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the...
Two pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are two separate relics.
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But
Yes, but the only one object per claim clause still holds true.
this logic!
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not...
No! If I only take one half, then it can't be repaired. And the power of the god of salt cannot... No matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't...
So you are already decided? That is to say, you consult...
That's okay. The god of salt gave up her life to protect... Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of...
Девочек.
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But as punishment,
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war...
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning, but Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, However, during such a long war, there is no end to... After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands.
No. No!
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people.
Not even a single blade?
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead...
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test...
As I said before...
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't...
О май год, эй, постой, богиня, где?
Indeed. Otherwise, why would I use the truth as punishment? I did not want to tell. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear. Salt. And betrayal.
Дядя, дядя! Ах. Так, что, опять надо колдовать? Йоу. Ну тут повыше тема, чем у Гео ГГ, мягко говоря. Такое именно. Так, ладно, мы не будем читать.
What are all these? What did they see? What?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all.
Ваньяня.
This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god, the Archon War, was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought, no matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain, those who could not flee, were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they saw their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternal curse. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword, and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger, but they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted...
This must be a lie. A false history. Don't you dare try to shake my faith!
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would, judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, simply recognizing the Indeed. In ages past, Havria's faith in a god who has already passed will do you no good. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also. All right then. Now, would you like to... Treading old ground, telling old stories. One cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintance.
Так, у меня надо покушать. Надо покушать.
No time to lose. could get used to this.
То есть, ага, ага. Да ладно, ползи, ползи, дядя. Подсочиться. Надо ползти.
Yahoo!
Ой-ой-ой. Чуть не впав. Так, я понял.
Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old, the Adepti, have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler that she left behind should not return to Liyue. To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also a home. I ended an era with my own two hands. I've always wondered how I should remember that which I ended. History records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. I need to find a better way of recording history in order to engrave its stone carvings were one such ancient method. But unchanging stone, immovable earth. Therefore, I thought of you, Trap. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. As long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times and time. Now then, it is time that we consign. As I said before, this is the place. This includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, who the Jade Chamber most recently... Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folk tales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate. I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this we did not measure right and wrong. Of course, as I am now. I will remain here for a while. I fear that though the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler do have power in their own right, if a day comes when he should recover his strength and return, I will remain here for a while. That is a good question. But now... Yes, but if this journey was to your liking, why don't you come along the next time I am seeking...
Прикольный чувак, но типа... Мне достаточно будет его в базовом виде. Да. Так, друзья, так, сверимся, да, все. На этом этот эпизодик заканчивается.